Backlogs. Everyone has them. Whether it be because you bought the game when it was on sale, or because a friend or family member gave it to you for your birthday or Christmas, or in my case, waiting for a certain game that you've been wanting to play to go on sale because it is too expensive, and then when it goes on sale, it's still too expensive. I'm looking at you, Silent Hill 2 Remake. But regardless of all that, it's still very, very satisfying to finally get around to playing that game, beating it, and crossing it off your backlog. So today, I just figured I'd try something different and go over some games that I've been wanting to play for a while now and finally got around to this year. I was always interested in these backlog videos that I've been seeing across YouTube lately, and, well, I just figured I should try it out myself and see what everyone else thinks. With that out of the way, let's get started. Resident Evil 7 is the 7th game in the Resident Evil franchise. Definitely. I appreciate how the game decided to go back to being a shorter, survival horror focused game, especially when you compare it to its previous game, Resident Evil 6, which I really didn't like. I've heard quite a few people say that Resident Evil 7 is the scariest game in the franchise, and while I wasn't that scared while playing it, I can definitely understand why. It's definitely the game that made me feel the most disturbed, especially with the fight against Margaret. You know her name. Not to mention the fact the game is in first person, which I think really helped immerse you into the atmosphere of the Baker household. Jack Baker was an awesome antagonist, and he had the best boss fights in the entire game. You know, especially with the first one, how you could drive a car and ram it into him over and over again until he takes the car from you, and then he accidentally kills himself, and then he comes back to life, and then you shoot him and he dies again, and then he comes back to life again, and you get the idea. Although I will say, as much as I enjoyed this game, it really dragged on near the end. Like, after the fight against Jack in the shed, I just kind of thought, okay, this is going to be the final boss, but it turns out he wasn't the final boss. Kind of. Then you're playing as Mia on the bow, and she has hardly any resources at all, and it just made the game go on a bit longer than it needed to. I was just ready for the game to be over when I cured Mia, because why the hell would I ever choose Zoe when my wife was the entire reason I came to this place? I played this game shortly before Requiem came out, and from what I've heard, Requiem is basically the best parts of this game and the best parts of 4 Remake mixed into one, so I'm quite excited to try it out once I get around to playing Resident Evil 8, whenever that is. But yeah, overall, I really like this game, and I can't wait to play Resident Evil 8. I'm gonna be honest, I ended up liking Spider-Man Miles Morales a lot more than I thought I would. I mean, I knew I would like it because I really liked the previous Spider-Man Insomniac game. But I was pleasantly surprised by how good the story was. It was nice seeing Miles become more confident in himself and becoming the next Spider-Man, and I did end up feeling kinda sorry for the Tinkerer. I also liked how the people who lived in New York were a bit more involved in the story. You know, with how they would grow to appreciate this new Spider-Man more, and how eventually they would even put him on the graffiti wall with Peter. I thought that was kinda sweet. The game also made the web slinging a bit more fun in this one with the inclusion of Miles' Venom powers, not that Venom, with how you can more easily get back to speed when you just started swinging around. And I even went out my way to get the Platinum Trophy because I got the Platinum Trophy for the previous Spider-Man game, which also means I played the game a second time on New Game Plus. And if a game is willing to make me play it again, then you know you've made a good one in my opinion. I don't know what other good things I can say about this game, because all the good stuff that is in this game is also in the previous game, and that's just what this game is, just more of the last game. Which is a good thing, don't get me wrong, it is a good thing, I'm just saying. I still prefer the last game because I think it has a better story and there's more stuff to do in it. But if you want to just play Insomniac Spider-Man without spending over 20 to 30 hours on it, then yeah, just play this. I don't know what else to say, just play it, it's really good. I can't wait to get around to playing Spider-Man 2 one day. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was practically one of the reasons why I wanted a PS5. I know it was on PC, but by the time it did come to PC, I was too busy with college, and I was just waiting for the game to go on sale. And then whenever it did, it was still too expensive. could only get this game because my aunt gave me money to buy at CEX, and I can't say the actual pronunciation of that shop because, well, if you've seen the adverts, you should know. Thanks, Auntie. So to get back on topic, this is probably one of the best Ratchet & Clank games I think I've ever played, like right alongside Up Your Arsenal and Crack in Time. In fact, it might actually be my new favorite Ratchet & Clank game because I'm still debating with myself whether or not I like this more than A Crack in Time. And I thought Crack in Time was my favorite for the longest, well, time. It was so much fun just exploring the world, trying to find bolts and raritanium, and Rivet was just absolutely adorable. I think I slightly liked playing as her a bit more than playing as Ratchet, mostly because I like the animation of her throwing her hammer more than Ratchet throwing his wrench. I even went out of my way to platinum this game, and I have never done that before in any other Ratchet & Clank game before. I mean, okay, yeah, it is probably the easiest Ratchet & Clank game to platinum, but still, never done it before. This game also has probably one of my favorite versions of the Rhino, since it's a gun that opens portals to other dimensions, because this whole thing is about dimensions, and stuff from other game franchises will just fall out of those portals. Like, my absolute favorite was, of course, the Sly Cooper stuff, because I absolutely adore Sly Cooper, and I really wish Sony would make another game. But yeah, this game was just absolutely amazing. It was so much fun. The story was great to listen to, even though it felt like a bit of a rip-off of that one Phineas and Ferb movie, and I really hope Rivet comes back in a later game and isn't just forgotten about in the next game like all the other potential love interest characters for Ratchet. This is probably my favorite game of the year so far. Now, I have to tell you, I didn't really record practically anything of this game, and that is just simply because I was playing it on my Switch, and I don't have a Switch capture card. But I have played it. I've taken a picture of it on my phone that shows my game time, and yep, there it is. More than 35 hours played on it, right above Animal Crossing, so there's proof that I've done it. But anyway, Okami is one of the most beautiful PS2 games I think I've ever seen in my entire life. It has aged incredibly well. It's inspired by those old Japanese paintings from hundreds of years ago, and it takes a lot from Japanese folklore as well. If I had to describe Okami, it's basically the exploration and puzzle solving of the old Zelda games with the combat system of Devil May Cry. My favorite thing about this game is definitely the ability to just paint over the world using your tail, which has been incredibly useful for solving puzzles and for fighting enemies, such as drawing a line from a torch to a block of ice so you can melt it, or drawing a straight line across an enemy to cut them in half. It's very satisfying to pull off. I also appreciate how goofy the game can be at times, because while I did enjoy the story, it can be a little bit hard to pay attention with no voice acting and the amount of reading you have to do. So I admire how they put goofy moments into the game so you don't just skim over the text while reading it. And out of all these games that I've talked about so far, I think this game probably has the best soundtrack. It does repeat a couple of songs here and there, but I don't really mind it because the music is very calm and warming to listen to anyway. Although if I hear that song that plays during the digging minigame again, I think I'm gonna have an aneurysm. But yeah, overall, Okami was a very charming game, and I think I can understand the hype for the sequel that's gonna be coming out whenever that is. So that's the end of the video. I know this is different from what I've been doing previously with the whole Fortnite concept video thing, but I just wanted to try out some different stuff and see how well that goes for my channel. If you're curious to know what games I'm excited for this year, I'm very excited for Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, which should be coming out next month at the time of me recording this. I'm also looking forward to the new Rhythm Heaven game. Of course, I'm looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6. And I am most excited for Danganronpa 2x2. And let me tell you something, when that game comes out, I'm going to be avoiding social media like the plague. Like, seriously, I will not be on social media at all while I'm playing that game. But very excited for that. But anyway, if you want to see more of this kind of content, please like the video and maybe consider subscribing. It really does help the channel out. I'm getting very close to 100 subscribers. That's my current goal at the moment, and I hope to accomplish it one day. And with that, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.